Hi everyone, welcome to Tarot with a Rose. It's a pleasure to have you here. My name is Shayla M. Rose. I'm an intuitive Latinx healer in New York City. I merge the metaphysical with wellness together to bring an experience and to bring healing to people, to communities across New York City and virtually as well. Today, I am so happy that you're here because we're going to be getting into Black Kyanite. I recently wrote a blog called A Journey to Truth with Black Kyanite, where I talk about my personal experience with Black Kyanite and an essence of Black Kyanite attached to truth and what that means. And you can even start to think about what that means for you and how you define truth in the process of this educational video. I do want to post a disclaimer before we continue in this video. This video again is for educational purposes, and my advice or my experience with Black Kyanite might differ from someone else's. It's not guaranteed you will have an experience if you were to work with Black Kyanite, and this video does not replace medical therapy or legal advice. So just putting that out there for those who are watching and interested in getting more into Black Kyanite. And let's get into the juicy stuff of what Black Kyanite is, physical properties, and then we'll go over my experience. So stay with me. First off, I want to say Black Kyanite is such a beautiful crystal, and I'll show you in a moment's time how it looks. It is very unique and different. And I actually confused it when I went to purchase this Black Kyanite, which is the one that we're going to be dedicating this video to, and the blog that I wrote. I thought that was Black tourmaline, and I've always worked with Black tourmaline, but for some reason I confused it, and my eyes are so like I was in this gaze and this it just felt very, very magical. That's what I mean when I saw this crystal, and it was just like a doorway, I would say, into Black Kyanite. So Black Kyanite, to get started, is an aluminum silicate mineral, and it has a harness quality to it. It is associated with a third and also with the heart chakra. So if you are familiar or not with the 7 chakra systems, which is an ancient practice in India, it is related to the 7 energy centers that we carry in our body. And in those energy centers, each are dedicated to different parts of the body and to different energies and to different attributes to who we are in this world of consciousness. So with the third eye, this is all about like psychic abilities, being able to see clearly, make clear decisions, and mental space. And then we have the heart chakra, which is opening up to healing. It's about our feelings, our emotions, our like core truths and who we are, and it's all that stuff that we carry here in the chest area. Some of the metaphysical properties of Black Kyanite include it works as an inner bridge. So when I'm thinking of an inner bridge, I'm thinking of the body, the physical body with the etheric body, but it can also be internally where it's emotions. And so it's the in, so within, so without concept, that there is, that what is in us reflects out towards earth and consciousness, right? Or vice versa as well. It is also helps us open up to our psychic abilities, connecting to earth. So there's an earth body connection, also past lives, and empathy. And I want to emphasize also empathy, because empathy is a word that I feel like you have to practice empathy, right? We're not all empathic. We all have different levels of it. We might have more or less. So when we are empathic, we are open to the channels of receiving, or we might be more attuned to someone else's emotions and emotional body. There are different kinds of kyanite, like there's blue kyanite, which is very popular out in the market. I've seen it even in metaphysical stores and shaman stores. There's indigo, and my most favorite one, I think right now, is the orange kyanite, which helps to unblock the second chakra. So the second chakra is our sacral, so the pelvic area, the womb space, and in that area we store emotions and traumas and sexual wounds and past woundings there in this area. And we also store good things like creativity and passion and sexual energy. So with orange kyanite, it helps unblock that area, helps us to not only unblock it in a way that, okay, we are gonna unblock this and that's it, but it helps us to deal with the situations that are in hand and helps us to find a solution. And then it then brings the creativity and the creative energy back into the body, the sexual energy, the goodness of it, back into the womb, into the sacral. Indigo kyanite is believed to aid in astral travel. So you're into astral travel, this can be a stone to help and aid that. Remember, this is not set in stone. You have to experiment with the crystal. You have to get to know it, get to connect to your energy field as well. And then we have green kyanite, which is believed to bring in a deeper connection to earth. And I'm gonna get deeper into that because as soon as I bought the stone, the crystal, and I put it on because it was a pendant, I felt an urge and a craving to be in earth, to connect to earth and to appreciate earth. So I'm going to get into that as well. But I want to show you now the crystal here, how beautiful that looks. And it is flaky. It does grow flat. It grows flat and flaky, and it does have these edges here. So it's not the most I would say for me, it feels very delicate, though it is hard. It is a hard stone. I even thought it would flake off, but it's not like selenite, where selenite is more delicate. This is definitely less delicate. So there you go here. And it has this grayish black color. So there is a essence of protection to the stone. That's why it reminded me of so much of black tourmaline. I feel like black tourmaline is definitely more flaky and more delicate than black kyanite to believe it. But here is a piece of clear quartz, and then this is the pendant. So this is the pendant I bought, and this is how black kyanite looks. It does come in different shapes. I know someone that made a beautiful pendant. It was like, I think, a witch's broom with the black kyanite, and it was so beautiful. So here it is. This is black kyanite, and it's flat. Very beautiful. It has like these layers attached to them. So that is black kyanite. I don't have the other types of kyanite, but I wish I did. But I will one day show them and get them and work with them and show you how they look. And I want to talk about now deeper into the changing power. Because when I bought this stone, I remember wanting to get like black, my intention was to get black tourmaline. And I remember being really attracted and almost in this daze about the pendant. And the owner, the person who I bought it from, was like, that's a powerful stone. But I didn't really make a connection until later on. So the changing power of black kyanite. My experience with black kyanite was unprecedented. I could just say that it was unprecedented. And I have a lot of crystals. I work with them, but not all of them. You see, again, is experimentation, and it depends. Sometimes crystals come into our lives when we need them the most. So this was unprecedented, and immediately upon me wearing the pendant, I felt grounded, absolutely grounded, more than I ever felt. Very grounded to the core's earth, very attuned to myself and to my energy. It also had this protective energy that encapsulated me very well. So I felt like this, almost like this robing, this cloaking kind of essence with the black kyanite. I was gonna say black tourmaline. I'm gonna get my black tourmaline. I have a chunky piece, it's so beautiful, but right now I'm into the black kyanite, so I'll work with both of them. Throughout the week that I was wearing the pendant, I came to many realizations in my life. Things were unfolding before my eyes, and it wasn't like immediately. It was more like in the moment things were happening, and I started to realize more things in my life, and it was more of a moment thing, right? Feeling that things that I needed to come to face with, experiences that I closed off to, and I needed to reopen myself up and really find a resolution for them and to see the inner truth within those things that reflects my truth. So it was that kind of doorway of exploring who I was and exploring my inner truth. And I continue to do that as I work with the Black Kyanite, though I feel like the intensity of the Black Kyanite right now is a lot less than before in terms of the things that are coming up for me, because I'm working with them, I'm dealing with them in a day-to-day basis. And I came to realize that Kyanite was helping me in opening a door for humility and self-preservation with the sprinkles of love. So yes, I came to realize a lot of traumas that were happening with my parents, how I had closed off to them, and how I had refused to kind of deal with them in a way that was healthy. And I sat down with these emotions, I sat down with these situations, and I came to realize the humility that I can feel in these difficult emotions. I can actually preserve myself, and I don't have to close off myself, more preserve my energy and preserve who I am, and really live my truth, that my parents' traumas and their things are not mine to live. They're not mine to be placed on me, but I do need to be conscientious of them. I do need to be open to them, and I do need to heal the parts that have hurt me in those traumas. That sometimes as children, I always tell people we're born, we don't get called to be born, right? Unless it's this karmic story behind it, where we don't know what our parentals are going to come with, right? Or what their situations are. But we can try to look at their work, we can look at what they're going through, and we can not judge them, and we don't have to feel like we have to fix them or save them, but we can look at it from a standpoint of like, I see what you're going through, I see the light within you, which is namaste, and I don't judge you. You were doing what you can at that moment, and this is to all parents, even parents that we have good relationships with, or even parents that are just parental figures that are not biological, and this can go in many ways. So I came to realize all these challenges and traumas that I was closing myself off and building very unhealthy patterns around. And then ultimately led me to a path of realization more about my truth and how I'm a vessel for love, and how I should continue to live within that. And that changed my perspective about how to go about situations in my life. How to unravel, right, from issues that have been placed on me, that are not my responsibility, but that I can look at it from a distance and be like, okay, I see it, I acknowledge it, I'm going to soften to it, I'm going to bring love into it. And all of us, and this, I'm bringing the example of parents, but this could be any situation in our lives, collectively or individually, that it's about traumas. We all carry, maybe we don't, maybe we're already working through it. There is an essence of like, we can soften to these things. We don't need to, it doesn't need to be hardcore. It doesn't need to be like stuck within us. We can actually start to remove these things, these elements from us. And I started to realize that now, after all that work, I was able to now release all that pain, release the discomfort that comes with carrying traumas that are not mine, right? That are from others, and how to be like, okay, I see it, I acknowledge it, I love you still so much. And I respect you, and I respect myself in that, because again, this is within me, I have to love and preserve myself so I could be able to love others, and vice versa. And even if the other doesn't reciprocate, you stand in your truth, you stand in love, you stand in who you are. And that is so important to me, and that is what the stone really came to me for, to show me that, to be like, hey, knock knock, it's time to wake up to your truth and to your reality. And it's never too late. We are all in the process. I'm telling you, life is a healing process. It is not easy, it's not linear, it is bumpy, and it's a bumpy ass ride. It's like a roller coaster ride, a VIP ride. We all have it, and we all go through it through different moments in our lives. And interestingly, I wrote this post, and I'm actually recording this right when there is a Mars and Uranus square. So, this is the great liberation, liberating you from the shackles of like things in our lives and forcefully breaking them and being the warrior and being like, no, I'm gonna break apart what's underneath my feet and reestablish myself in this world where I can live in my truth. And Uranus is the planet of liberation. She's connected to Aquarius. So she's about like, she's not going to take the, okay, just sit back. She's going to push to evolve. She's going to push for liberation. She's going to be like, girl, let's liberate. Let's go ahead. Let's do this. She's not going to give you comfort. She's going to give you discomfort. And in that discomfort comes learning, lessons, resurfacing. It's almost like when you're gardening, if you have a garden or not. I'm in the city, so I don't have a garden, but there are garden lots around me. I look at them and I'm observing them. They are, really forcefully cleaning up and lifting and scooping up dirt to be able to grow a new seed, a new plant. So that is the same way that when traumas come up or things come up, that we are forcefully having to, like, Uranus is like, you gotta plow until it's deep enough so you can see what it is, deal with it, find a resolution, and now find yourself unshackled, free, and liberated. And that brings a sense of emotional liberation. And I was able to find that in this connection with this stone, having it in my metaphysical and having it in my energy field with Kyanite. And this pushed me really to find my truth and to be that. And that's why I want to share this with you. And I don't like to share too much of my personal stories, but this is one story that I feel someone needs to hear it. Someone is going through this, maybe not, maybe it's about learning the metaphysical properties of Black Kyanite, but know that one way it's working through your truths and who you are, and in different ways. It doesn't need to be traumas. It could be in different ways. It could be finding out a resolution for something in our life that is focused on that moment. And I want to mention now dreams. Oh baby, the dreams that I was getting, the dreams were so amazing. They were vivid dreams, and the symbols that I was getting throughout those vivid dreams really helped me resolve some of the truths and things that was happening in my waking life, where I was, plowing all the crap that I needed to plow. And these symbols were not pretty in pink. They were really some of them were done, some of them were very like straightforward and explicit and pointing me to polish myself up and learn sovereignty, to learn my truth and to see what's inside of myself in that inner work. And I would say, I'm going to talk a little bit about dreams now. Dreams can aid us and help us to resolve issues. Believe it or not, in our world, of course, we choose to do so. If we choose to work with dreams, psychologists work with dreams. Think about Freud. There's a really good book on Freud and dreams where he talks about his observations with dreams and things like that. And he talks about the psychological approach of it. These symbols, they come in, they show us what we need to be looking at, and they are going to be looking at the things that we need to focus on presently, in the moment. They're not going to show you random stuff. No symbol is random in your dreams. They're all connected to what's happening right now when you're awake, when you're up, and you're about in the world. Okay, so, and only we are able to have the capacity to decide the readiness that we want to change. Whether it's working, we're working with the stone and we start to feel there's a change. And remember, not everyone will have that experience. It's your free will to decide if you want to go through with that change. Do you want to embark in this emotional journey, right? And we're in Cancer season right now, so this is a perfect time to really work on the depths of emotions, the emotional body. And sometimes there are times that we're not ready to change, and that's okay. We don't need to be all the time. All right. So as I was studying and I was feeling and observing and doing these observations of Black Kyanite in my field, I was questioning the stone. And one question that came up to me was, could Kyanite be moldavite's sister, right? Do you know what moldavite is? If you don't, I will quickly explain it to you in a little crash course right now. Moldavite is a type of stone, is believed to be due to a meteorite that had crashed and then dispersed into pieces in the Czech Republic. You can only find this piece of glass in the Czech Republic, and they're tiny pieces. They're supposed to be connected to extraterrestrial life and UFOs, and they're supposed to be also, according to the metaphysical properties of it, transformation. And Kyanite, Black Kyanite, really reminded me of moldavite, and I feel that both can work. Both are sisters. I feel both are definitely connected to each other in one way or the other, though this is not glass, right? This is a type of mineral, and moldavite is a mineral. Also, moldavite is green. Has a translucent green color or dark color, and different kinds of shapes to them. But yes, I believe both can be sisters, and I feel that the pair between moldavite and Black Kyanite could assist in healing, trauma, healing, inner growth, and transformation. But remember that this is my own observations. The crystal, right? This information is not intended to be like set in stone. This is observations that I've made, and by working with the crystal in my energy field. Everyone is different. In addition, we can add a piece of clear quartz, or even black tourmaline, and the clear quartz will add a splash of clarity in our healing and inner growth. If you're working with the set now, it will bring in that splash of clarity to our paths. So my reflection questions to you, because I'm not going to leave this without giving you some reflection questions, is what is your truth? How are you nurturing those parts of yourself? And what healing are you seeing? What part of yourself are you proud of right now? Even if you're not healing them, even if you're not consciously deciding to heal them, what part of yourself are you healing right now? Or what part have you already healed and worked through? Or what part are you excited and really excited to start? Or maybe just how are you right now? Just being. And write about this. These are some journal reflections for you to bring in information that came up as I was working through this blog, through this video, and working with Black Kyanite. This is the affirmation. You can repeat it as many times. So just take a deep breath right now. I know it was just a lot right now that I just spieled onto all of you, all this great information. Take a deep breath with me. Take another deep breath in. And this is the affirmation. You can close your eyes at this moment if you choose to, keep them open. And this is the affirmation. I allow my heart to open to healing. I am greatness. I am whole. I allow my heart to open to healing. I am great. I am whole. I allow my heart to open to healing. I am great. I am whole. And I hope that this affirmation brings up, even if you're not in this process of healing, maybe you're just cruising and being, that this affirmation serves you well. And remember, you can also share with others that are in that process. If there are any questions, remember, you can always contact me. If you're willing to ask any questions you want, go ahead. If you're looking to book a healing session with me, please feel free to head over to the links in my bio. Also to visit me at www.shaylaandrose.com. You can also contact me, and I am more than happy to guide you. With much love, have a great rest of your month in this Cancerian season, and wish you well on this journey. Namaste.